same way with the leg and thighs, right? So I'm just going to kind of go through that pretty quick. Still, you know, a couple of areas where we kind of need to think about next time we do the chicken is get on that kneecap. And then that's where your thumbs go, right in there, okay? And then that's where you're popping, okay? So we're going to start this chicken off the same way. And there's on the syllabus, once I put that updated syllabus, there's a hyperlink to the ACF, it's called the ACF like Student Team Championship. If you right click that and open the hyperlink, it'll take you right to this picture. Alright, so you'll see it all laid out. Okay. Now, the one thing that's a little bit different with this, what you're going to do is you're going to cut this leg and thigh and separate that. And then you want to trim off some of this excess fat, clean it up just a little bit. Be careful you don't trim too much fat off. And you want to, I think what we ended up doing is taking this thigh bone out, right? Scrape, pinch, you guys have done that before, right? But then when we take it out, we're going to put it back in. Okay? One year we didn't take it out, and then we took it out after cooking.
We did like a boneless leg and thigh together.
Well, kind of.
I mean, it seemed like it.
So you take that out, but then you put this back in, and then we tie that. So you cook it with that leg bone back, the thigh bone back in there. And why do you do that? What's that? More flavor. Right? And you know, once you cook this, you'll be able to basically pull this thigh bone right out, and then it'll be at this nice compact shape. Okay. One year we did it. We cooked it with it in. You know, clean this up. We cooked it with it in and tied it, and then still had to go in and take it out. It was just a little bit harder, but as long as it's tender, it'll come right out. This is neater, and that bone will just pretty much slide right out, and then you have this nice little tight parcel because you're going to tie that when you cook it. Okay. Now the leg, what you do with the leg is you come up a little bit on the meat here. So you can cut away or push away some of that meat from that knuckle. You don't want to go too high. You basically want to expose the end of this knuckle here. And you see right where it kind of starts meeting the bone, right where it starts rounding, that's where you're going to cut it. If you go too deep, you're going to splinter the bone. So right on the bottom, right about here, straight down, bring it to the base of the board so your knuckles don't get in the way. You can also use a chef's knife, but just nice, quick motion. And if you cut it right, it doesn't splinter. Okay? So right where it starts to round it, right where the bone meets the knuckle, that's where we want to take it off, so it doesn't splinter. Right? Now you're going to do the same thing with the top here. You're going to basically I think we just cut around it. Just right underneath this knuckle. You see again where that rounded part meets? Quick. Too low and you're going to splinter the bone. Okay? Now, what you're going to do is you're going to create like a French leg. But what you need to do is you need to take all that sinew out. Okay? And that's where the pliers come in. You grip that and hold that piece of sinew with your fingers around. So you don't like pull out a lot of meat with you. Alright? It's a really nice way to cut a chicken. Now there's this big piece of sinew that kind of comes down and wraps around that muscle. You're not going to be able to pull that out. So what we'll do is we'll just trim that. It's all these little ones that we're going to worry about. And this here, that big one, I just kind of pull that out a little bit and cut it. So you get some of that really tough connective tissue out. Sinew comes out of that little leg. And then you have this nice little tight parcel. I always just kind of take that skin, make it nice and neat. And then when that cooks, it'll be nice and clean and it'll stand up just like that. Alright. So the nice thing about this is when the guests eat this, it's just one bone. No knuckles, no cartilage to deal with. This, you're going to pull the bone out after you cook it. So the guests don't have to fight. And it's just beautiful piece of meat then. Alright. Now this next part, what you're going to do is you have your breast here. You're just going to take your knife and follow kind of the contour of that breast. You cut that off. This is how we clean it up. The nice thing, it's only one chicken, but there's more work involved. Okay, so you got your hip bone. Now we're going to do the same thing. French that. Okay. Alright. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the backbone out. So we're going to take this backbone out here.
Almost like you would do for like an 8-cut.
Open it up, and then just lay this on the board. Cut that backbone out there. Alright, you see that? Wishbone's taken out. Bad stuff happened to that chicken. And then we're going to split that right in half. Now the key is, we're going to cut this right about here so we can make a nice little supreme here. And you're going to have a large chunk of white meat here, which is going to get paired up. This will get paired up with this. This will get paired up with this. So each person gets some of the white and dark meat. Okay? You're trying to make this look like this. And so you want to take off like about an inch piece, right? Right here. And you know, you want to leave it a little bit long, so you're going to come down right about here, all right? And then that keel bone still stays in there. That comes out after you cook it. All right. You can turn that up a little bit. I didn't leave enough skin on there in the beginning. And I think I need to go down just a little bit further here. The next cut. All right. I'll show you. So then this, what I do with this is just kind of trim this up a little bit so that it kind of looks more like a little airline breast. But I left a little bit too much of that keel bone in there. So maybe right about here. See that? Okay. So that gets paired up with that. And then this, I always kind of clean this up because there's really not that much meat on here. And to kind of help that shape out, to make it look like a little airline chicken breast, to make it kind of simulate this type of shape. All right, and then this gets paired off with this. Okay, and then same thing over here, and then same thing with the other leg. That gets paired up with that. And that's your 4 dishes. Okay, but you want to try to. This one I needed to go a little bit further in here to get that keel bone on here. You want it to look more like this. Alright, does that make sense? It's a little tricky, it's a little bit different. When you get to this point, if you have questions, just give me a call and I can kind of guide you. Here, come here.